for choosing to stay with us.
His Majesty King Eswatini III is back home from an official visit to 3 countries. The Minister for Foreign Affairs says using drone system along the country's borders will help reduce illegal activities. And Eswatini Epilepsy Organization says some epileptic persons get raped during seizures.
And now for your news in detail. His Majesty King Eswatini III is back home from an official visit to the United Arab Emirates, the Republic of China on Taiwan, and the Republic of South Africa. His Majesty was accompanied by Nkosikazi Magala-Mashwama.
His Majesty King Mswati III landed at the King Mswati III International Airport, accompanied by Nkosikazi Magala-Mashwama. His Majesty is returning from an official trip to 3 countries. His Majesty's journey began in the United Arab Emirates in Abu Dhabi, where the King had meetings on strengthening bilateral relations and also had meetings of inviting businesses to come and invest in Eswatini. The King then proceeded to the Republic of China on Taiwan, where the Kingdom of Eswatini and that republic renewed their bilateral and cooperation relations. His Majesty then returned back to the United Arab Emirates in Dubai, where the King had a business forum with the local business community. The last leg of His Majesty's trip was in the Republic of South Africa in the KwaZulu-Natal province, where the King graced the coronation of the Zulu King, His Majesty King Misuzulu Eswatini. Addressing the media at Lutsitini Rural Residence, His Majesty King Mswati III said the trip was a great success and will greatly benefit the kingdom in many ways.
Tibe tiyendi na letinye tingapani letibonale ukuthi vele tine shisakalo lenkulu yekutangala kangwane ikakhulu ngoba kunale science and technology park le yakhiwa ngiyo iTaiwan ikhusatile ke vele ukuthi ke kusetaba tiyendi taletingapani ngakhulu leleti tawungena ngalanga ka ICT ngoba iTaiwan inayo nale technology lenyenti lebonala ukuthi nawuva kusemhlabeni icishe isupplier yaletinye taletinto letibonala ukuthi letihambelana ne-technology kanti ke babukile nangalapha ngaku region ukuthi nala ku region ba set up ema companies la ngabonakala ukuthi angalekelela. Sabuya ngalapha eDubai nakhona kwaba kuhle bakahulumende sakhanza basilungisele impela kukuhle lenye iprogram yabo somabhizinisi le inqumbi yabo labo somabhizinisi ngoba babe sebahlangana nalabo base Abu Dhabi bangalapha nase Dubai bahlanganisa ukuthi cha bavele batakuta kangwane batolibambisa live emisebentini leminyenti ngekwahlukahlukana bona ke ngale ukuthi bavele banayo le expertise etintweni letinye njengoba sengitibalile le crude oil nale gas yawusisita esigabeni sekuseni njengoba beTaiwan nabo bakhuluma bona ukuthi batawaka strategical oil reserve kusho ukuthi lemsebenzi lena ngoba iyadzingeka vele bese nawunale strategical oil reserve ibese iyadzingeka le crude noma kumbeke le petroleum product letawubonaliswa ukuthi ngoba ekugcineni kufuna bese niba nale refinery nangabe ndawuba na ukuthi ndawo importa crude oil kepha njengoba vele livele libheke lapho libheke ukutheni lo msebenzi uqale la kuma strategical oil reserve bese eventually ugcina ufike esigabeni sokuthi kube nema refineries.
Present at the airport to welcome His Majesty was the royal family, the Prime Minister, cabinet ministers, and many other dignitaries. On the news, I'm Polile Mazia at the King Mswati III International Airport.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Thuli Ladle, says using a drone system along the country's borders will help reduce illegal activities, especially goods that are smuggled into and outside of the country. The Minister was speaking in Parliament when delivering the ministry's second quarter performance report for the year 2022-2023 financial year.
The Ministry of National Defence and Security appeared before the Ministry's Portfolio Committee on Tuesday to debate the second quarter performance report for the Ministry, while the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Tsholsile Dladla, who is also responsible for the Ministry of Defence, delivered her preamble before the House, highlighting that the Ministry has seized a number of goods, including livestock, motor vehicles and drugs, among other items, that were being smuggled into and outside the country. When debating the Minister's report, members of the committee applauded the Ministry for the transparent army recruitment exercise done at Dingudla centers and also touched on the illegal activities along the country's borders.
Informal crossings, ngicabanga ukuthi endelwe lokusha kodwa live liyalimala ngayo lento le.
Ba qualify la wonke umuntu uyabona uyajabula nabo abantu babo bozibani bahamba. Sithe ngale oyilona ngasilisula kalungu. Alilungu lo abe number 6 lo abe landzela ke yena. Sangenta sa substitute phela i-team yakubo le.
Siyacela ukuthi kubothi nakutawucalwa bahanjwe bafundiswe labantwana ukuthi sitawubutha lisotsha letawona nawo lento.
The minister welcomed the submissions and responded to the debate.
Indaba ye-recruitment siyawathatha ema-comments enu nema-suggestion enu. Angeke emasotsha abesenzaweni yinye ngasikhathi sinye because they're thin on the ground. Singawavala ama-informal crossings, but there will be illegal crossings.
Members of the committee also praised the Ministry of Defence for the construction of the Poqweni Medical Center. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samuel Swekoza with Sikhumbuzo Dlamini, Parliament.
Communications and Technology Princess Kanyiso has officially launched the Cybersecurity Awareness Month of the year 2022 and the public launch of the National Cybersecurity Strategy for Eswatini. The minister says the Cybersecurity Awareness campaign is a product of the collaboration between government, the regulator, and law enforcement, the financial sector, and many more stakeholders in an effort to promote safe online behavior and best practices.
The Minister of Information, Communications and Technology, Princess Kanyis, was represented by the Minister's Undersecretary, Makanjana Motsa.
Eswatini are increasingly adopting digital technologies and spending more time online. Our growing dependence on technology, coupled with the ever-growing threat of cyber attacks, demands greater awareness. Through this strategy, we envision a safe, secure, and resilient cyberspace in Eswatini. And we seek to control and minimize breaches of the peace and tranquility of Eswatini's cyberspace.
Eswatini Communications Commission Chief Executive Mvilawe Mpidlamin says children and elderly people should not be left behind when talking about issues of cybersecurity. He mentioned that most people do not have antivirus in their phones as a security measure.
99% yethu laveni labana tincingo side antivirus kuleli qembu.
Eswatini Bankers Association Chairperson Balis Banyon encourages the nation to swiftly report when there are suspicious transactions in their bank accounts.
Our reports indicate a rise or an increase in investment fraud and proof of payment scams as compared to the previous year.
Deputy Prime Minister's Office Acting Director, National Children's Services Department, Mahambi Dlangamandla, says it is certain though that the use of internet has come with a number of challenges which are more severe to children. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Eswatini.
The Minister of Finance, Nel Rickenback, says the total public debt has increased by about 3.43 billion Malangeni this quarter. The minister has been speaking in Parliament when tabling the ministry's second quarter performance report on Tuesday.
The Minister of Finance, Nel Rickenback, when tabling the ministry's second quarter performance report for the current financial year before the ministry's portfolio committee at the House of Assembly, said the total public debt has increased by 3.43 billion emalangeni this quarter. When debating the minister's report, members of the committee asked the minister about the government's plans to increase the generation of revenue.
How are we going to finance the deficit? Kule leave.
Akhona inama strategies lenawo ekuvula other revenue streams kudoba ngconyana sikhwama sahulumende.
Dabatini labatendile bona nahulumende kubuka ukuthi siboosta njani le economy ngoba sikhumbula kahle sesibuya ku COVID.
Just confirm or deny that we are actually paying 48,000 rands per vehicle, especially the 4x4, the luxurious ones.
The Minister of Finance then responded to the debate.
Let the private sector thrive. We are trying to boost that. And I think we are starting to see decent numbers starting to look like the GDP is starting to react to that measure. But we are rather, as you know, we've been focusing on SACU. And I know there's the drive to the minister, to become too reliant on SACU is another problem. It is another problem, you're spot on. That's why the SACU Stabilization Fund is critical. It's being worked on, it's being drafted, it's at the AG's office as we speak.
The Minister of Finance will deliver a report of written responses before the committee on Thursday. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Swekoza with Mbongwa Dube, Parliament.
The Ministry of Tourism has signed a memorandum of understanding with the African Wildlife Foundation on the wildlife conservation. The memorandum of understanding was signed by the Minister of Tourism, Moses Vilagati, and the CEO of the African Wildlife Foundation, Kadu Sebunya, at the Hilton Garden Inn in Mbabane.
The Minister of Tourism, Moses Vilagati, has signed a memorandum of understanding with the CEO of the African Wildlife Foundation, Kadu Sebunya, to improve the wildlife sector in Eswatini. Kadu has an experience in conservation of grassroots, which the minister says his vast knowledge will greatly benefit Eswatini.
Abatabe bagwenda abatabe benda lama-plans basisita ngwente ama-plans nekuthola ke i-project management unit ngoba kufuneka ukuthi kube khona labake bakwenda lokhu lesikwendawo kuwumsebenzi lomkhulu newokuthi ungabambisa njani live lokhu kahle kokuthi banemaqhinga labawabonile labaqhamuka nawo embili lesithemba kokuthi ngikuthi sekusayinjwe lo msebenzi lo awuvele evikini lelitako sokuqala kusentshendwa.
He says with his experience Eswatini can benefit on wildlife issues. The CEO says he believes in conserving Africa's wildlife, which is too important to be left to the West alone.
We are looking at how can we build capacity of institutions here, how do we build a management plan, how are we going to engage communities, because the communities need to participate, benefit from wildlife management.
He will be in the country for the rest of this week, visiting and touring different nature conservation places. Reporting, I am Kian Msibi with Smuva Shongwe at the Hilton Inn Garden, Mbabane.
The Minister of Tourism, Moses Vilagati, encourages Eswatini to go out and explore Eswatini during this festive season. The minister was speaking during the launch of the Choose Eswatini campaign aimed at promoting domestic tourism in Eswatini. The launch took place at Happy Valley Hotel in Eswatini.
The Minister of Tourism, Moses Vilagati, has officially launched the Choose Eswatini campaign, which is a campaign officiated by the Eswatini Tourism Authority in order to encourage Maswati to once again visit Eswatini and explore the beauty of the country this festive season, as they did during the COVID-19 era when it was at its peak.
As we continue to explore our kingdom and to discover our unparalleled culture, landscapes, adventures, flora and fauna, I would like to applaud the people who make it easy for domestic tourists to do this. Tour operators, you are usually the unsung heroes. Most of you are young, fueled by the passion and energy to explore different products. Please keep up the good works.
The head of marketing at the Eswatini Tourism Authority, Siboniso Madlopa, unpacked the campaign.
We are inviting all of us to come and choose Eswatini this festive season, explore as families, explore Eswatini as friends, explore as couples, and also explore with our parents. Make sure that you visit places where you can bring something back home.
Members of the public, together with their families and loved ones, as well as spouses, can take and post pictures on their social media pages and stand to win great prizes in a competition that has already started on Tuesday this week till the first week of January next year. Reporting IMK NMCB with Smuva Shongwe at the Happy Valley, Ezulwini.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Tutsile Dladle, says the Kingdom of Eswatini, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, continues to receive a wide range of offers of international scholarships. The Minister has been speaking in Parliament when delivering the Ministry's second quarter performance report on Tuesday. Moving right along, a Eswatini epilepsy organization, Abraham Jaljali, says some epileptic persons get raped during seizures. Jaljali said this during a workshop that seeks to encourage senators on neurological disorders, especially epilepsy, and the need to place neurological disorders amongst health priorities in the country's health agenda.
Workshop organized by Eswatini Epilepsy Organization for senators hopes to raise awareness about epilepsy and also to expose challenges faced by epileptic persons.
People living with epilepsy have got many challenges, and one of the main challenges that they face is the issue of abuse, especially sexual violation.
The Minister of Health Senate Portfolio Committee Senator Isaac Makakula says there is a need to strengthen laws that will assist epileptic people,
so that we can be empowered as senators in engaging in robust debates whenever we are in Parliament.
The Minister of Health Representative Nursing Sister Eldan Sibanze says equipments are available at the Mbabane Government Hospital for epilepsy testing.
Sisingakwenza lolu cwaningo ngale mshini lokuthiwa i-EEG bese siyathumela kule tinini telizinyane.
According to the World Health Organization, 50 million people live with epilepsy globally, and 10 million of these are in Africa. It is estimated that over 65,000 Emaswati have epilepsy, which is about 5% of the population, while those with epilepsy are over 100,000. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Smuva Shongwe Ezulwini.
And here's a statement from the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. In an exercise of the powers conferred by Section 110 of the Urban Government Act of 1969, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development hereby issues the following notice. The citation and commencement. The notice may be cited as the appointment of interim councillors and board members of the year 2022. This notice shall come into force on the 31st of October 2022. The appointment of the interim councillors and board members. The person whose name appears below are appointed to serve as interim councillors in the case of town and city councillors and board member in the respect of town boards for a period not exceeding 6 months from the date of appointment. In Mbabane Municipal Council, Daphne Mhlanga serves as chairperson and Piwa Ingosi Kininza as vice chairperson. Manzini Municipal Council, Kolisi Mabuza serves as chairperson and Zintle Matsebula as vice chairperson. And Matapa Town Council, Alice Russo as chairperson and Stephen Morta as vice chairperson. And the Hlangano Town Council, Mashu Mishongwe will be serving as chairperson, and Tulasizwe Lamini serves as vice chairperson. Pickspick Town Council, Absalom Ndlovu as chairperson and Tamside Ndlangamandla, or Ngampalala rather, as vice chairperson. Sitegi Town Council, Leslie Way as chairperson, Aaron Sifunza as vice chairperson. Ezolini Town Council, Miliswa Mjali, chairperson, and Rafilwe Mamahobo as vice chairperson. Malkans Town Council, Mbuso C. Lamini as chairperson, and Billy Fitzpatrick as vice chairperson. Lavomisa Town Board, Grace Mluli as chairperson, and Zodwa Lamine as vice chairperson. Tlatikulu Town Board, Matutuza Zwane as chairperson, and Simo Lamine as vice chairperson. Vovulana Town Board, Clifford Mamba as chairperson, and Zandile Tabete as vice chairperson. Mangayane Town Board, Tito Smelane as chairperson, and Cyril Gunen as vice chairperson. Ngwenya Town Board, Mtutuzi Lamini as chairperson, and Luke Fagutse as vice chairperson. Now, this announcement is by His Royal Highness Prince Smelane, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development. With that, we shall take a look at our financial indicators and see how markets performed today in our financial report.
It can be.
Welcome back. You're still with the News Bulletin at 8, and now we shall take a look at news making headlines in the world of sports. High jump athlete Erika Siama, who is based in the Republic of South Africa, says she is slowly recovering from an injury that she sustained in July this year, which has made her miss the 2022 Commonwealth Games in England. Siama, who has been out of action for 6 months, is eyeing the 2023 National Championships in the All-Africa Games to be staged in Ghana.
Top high jumper star Erika Nhlanhla Seyama has entered the 3rd month of her injury period that she suffered in July, as she's expected to be out for 6 months. The 28-year-old says she's recovering well so far.
A torn Achilles is a really serious injury, and it can take a long time to heal, and you must not rush the process. So for me right now, it's all about just recovering and going through the process and not rushing anything. And, I just hope that I can recover just in time for the national championships. But if I'm unable, it's fine. But the most important thing right now is just to not rush the process. It's been 3 months already, and I'm recovering very well. I've started with physio, and I recently started to walk again, which I'm very happy about that. But unfortunately, I still cannot jump for the next 3 months. But if I can execute my recovery and my physiotherapy very well, who knows, I might be able to jump even earlier. But until then, I just have to follow the doctor's instructions and my physio's instructions.
Seyama is targeting to return in time for the 2023 National Championships and the All-Africa Games in Ghana same year. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Mbawane.
Real Leopard head coach Edwin Matsebula says they do not know anything about their CAF Confederations Cup opponents, Real Bamoka FC from Mali. However, hard work will take them through the first leg that will be played at the Somhlolo National Stadium tomorrow. Matsebula was speaking during a media briefing at Somhlolo National Stadium in Lobamba.
IS Real Bamako, that is already in the country for a few days now, got a chance to train at the Somhlolo National Stadium ahead of their first leg against Real Leopard in CAF Confederations Cup. Real Leopard head coach Edwin Matsebula is admitting that they don't know much about their opponents, but hard work will take them through their first leg.
We respect them. They are a good team, and they are better in terms of CAF rankings than us. We will fight and die on the pitch. This is the only game that can qualify us to the group stages. So we have to give all we have to win the game and qualify for the group stages.
Oui, ça rentre dans la logique des choses réellement.
Nuhu Diane, who is in charge of the IS Real Bamako, who also is in charge of the national team, says they have a secret that we use come match day. and the game will be played on Wednesday at the Eswatini National Stadium from 3 p.m. local time. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera with Muzum Konda, Lobamba.
With the sports news, we have hit the home stretch of the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. Before we go, here's a quick reminder of our top stories tonight. His Majesty King Eswatini III is back home from an official visit to 3 countries. The Minister for Foreign Affairs says using drone system along the country's borders will help reduce illegal activities. And Eswatini Epilepsy Organization says some epileptic persons get raped during seizures. Beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini, thank you so much for choosing to stay with us. It's been a pleasure. We shall now cross over to the news, to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the rest of the team at Eswatini TV. For now, it's good night and God bless.
It's Hi-Fi Corp's Black Tag November, where every day is Black Friday. Don't regret it and buy it on credit when you shop this Samsung Galaxy A03 core smartphone for $1,799, save $200. Or this Sinotech 32-inch HD LED TV for $1,999, save $1,000. Or this Hisense 6.3-liter black air fryer for $1,999, save $300. Prices valid until 6 November. Hi-Fi Corp, your #1 deal destination.